Hello, hello. What a game it was. Maxwell all the way. Well, you wouldn't expect somebody to go out there and perform that way, especially when 7 wickets are down. It wasn't expected, but that's how it is. It's Australia. It's a white shark. I mean, you can never count them out until the last ball is bowled. Well, to begin with, Australia, they didn't start the chase really well, to be very honest, and some brilliant bowling by Afghanistan. Some brilliant bowling by Afghanistan, to say the least. I mean, you don't expect them to, their pacers to go and pick wickets up front. लेकिन जिस तरह से अजमत और नवीन उल हक ने बॉलिंग की थी, it was fabulous. It did look like कि वो बड़े मार्जिन से ये मैच जीत जाएंगे, but then again it was Maxwell show all the way. मतलब एक वक्त तो ऐसा था कि 200 रन चाहिए थे, इनफैक्ट 220 चाहिए थे with when Pat Cummins came out to bat. Pat Cummins and Maxwell, forming a partnership of 200 plus, and जिसमें से 25 करीबन 20 रन कोई पैट कमिंस के थे, and it was all it was a one man show basically जो knock Glenn Maxwell ने खेला है. I mean, it's once in a lifetime kind of knock. I mean how many knocks do we remember जो इस तरह से वर्ल्ड कप में खेले गए हो? The last that I remember of this magnitude, when chips are down, 175 रन की इनिंग्स जो कपिल देव ने खेली थी 1983 में, जब 17 पे 5 हो चुके थे इंडिया के. And it wasn't of the same thing, but I mean, yeah, considering the circumstances, it was one of the finest knocks in the World Cups, I mean, to say the least. Afghanistan, well, definitely they started really well, winning the toss, batting first. I think this was ideally what they would have wanted, and they got that. फिर जिस तरह की इनिंग्स इब्राहिम जदरान ने खेली, 129 रन, ऐसा लग रहा था कि वो 290 तक नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे, स्पेशली जो इन द मिडिल फेज जब शहीदी बैटिंग कर रहे थे. I mean, he consumed a lot of balls, like 40-45 balls खेलनी 24-25 रन के लिए. And this is one complaint that most of the cricket lovers do have with Shahidi, but against the odds, he has scored a few 50s in the last few games, and has gone on to provide those match-winning knocks in the end. Lekin it was a late blitz from Rashid Khan as well as from Nabi, which got them over the line, and 290 के आसपास के, I mean, they crossed that score. And जब बैटिंग आई ऑस्ट्रेलिया की, nobody expected कि इस तरह से वो मतलब I wouldn't use a term choke, लेकिन हाँ, वो प्रेशर में तो आ गए थे काफी, especially when they lost Warner. फिर उसके बाद यार, actually, when you are playing a world class team, 5 times world champions, then you would want to convert those half chances. Afghanistan, unfortunately, आज अपने जो chances उन्हें दिए गए थे, इनफैक्ट वो भी ग्रैब नहीं कर पाया. I mean, दो catches इनफैक्ट छूट गए Glenn Maxwell के, and then you can't expect a team to go on and win आप जब इस मैग्नीट्यूड के मैच में 2 कैचेस छोड़ रहे हैं. And it was a chanceless performance afterwards, जब कैचेस छूट गए थे, and then you don't really, I mean, बैट्समैन जैसा मैक्सवेल जैसा बंदा जब आपके 2 कैचेस छूट जाते हैं, then वो छोड़ेगा नहीं. I mean, especially जब क्रैम्प्स आ गए थे, and it was all about seeing the ball and hitting the ball. मतलब उसके अलावा वो रन्स भागने की कोशिश भी नहीं कर रहा था. जब मौका मिल रहा था, he was taking that odd single, लेकिन उसके अलावा I thought कि he was just ruthless. And सोने पे सुहागा बॉलिंग भी उस टाइम पे. मैं एक्चुअली कैप्टनसी की बात करूंगा थोड़ी सी, क्योंकि जब आप देख रहे थे कि 70-80 रन की पार्टनरशिप हो गई, he could have actually acted there and there. मैं अजमत का तो मतलब I wouldn't rate him as much, क्योंकि शायद फजलुल हक फारूकी अगर होता तो शायद आप उसको ओवर दे सकते थे, लेकिन अजमत वो डुबली टाइप ऑफ बॉलर. हाँ, उसको विकेट्स बेशक मिली हैं, लेकिन उसको बिल्कुल भी उतना परचेस कभी भी नहीं मिलता, बिकॉज ही डजंट रियली हैव पेस. जब लास्ट में आकर उसने बॉलिंग की है, इट वाज हाफ ट्रैकर्स जिस ओवर में उसने 2 छक्के 1 चौका लगाया था अजमत के, एंड दे वर रन्स फॉर द टेकिंग. इट वाज ऑल अबाउट गेटिंग इट कीपिंग इट स्टंप टू स्टंप, हिटिंग दोस स्टंप्स और बॉलिंग इन दोस यॉर्कर्स. वो अफगानिस्तान ने ट्रिक मिस की. दैट वाज a big error on their part. यहीं पे मेरे ख्याल है एक्सपीरियंस और एक विनिंग मेंटालिटी आ जाती है. I mean, Australia, obviously with all their experience, and Maxwell, उसने इंडिया में इतना खेला हुआ है कि he knows how to bat in these circumstances, in these situations. मुंबई पे उसने पता नहीं IPL के कितने सारे मैचेस खेल चुका है वो. And then another problem that you got to see when he was bowling. I mean, the spinners were bowling actually. They actually balled into his territory. उसके आँख में bowling किए जा रहे थे. And अगर शायद पॉइंट को पीछे लेते या फिर एक कवर अप अपना कुशन लेते ऑफ साइड पर, एंड देन इफ दे हैड गॉन फॉर दोस वाइड बॉल्स जो मैक्सवेल के अगेंस्ट टीम्स आईपीएल में यूज करती हैं इन इंडियन कंडीशंस, तो मेरा नहीं ख्याल है कि ही वुड हैव एक्चुअली गॉट टू 200. मतलब शायद चांस एक क्रिएट हो जाता and he would have got out eventually. That was actually a trick that Afghanistan missed. I mean, still, Afghanistan winning 4 games in a World Cup in a single edition and giving Australia a tough time should definitely be a moral victory for them. But then again, जब चांस आपका आ चुका था, जब आपने 7 आउट कर लिए थे opposition के, it was all about going for the kill, and that's exactly where the captaincy comes into picture. With experienced teams, experienced captains, you don't really get to see a slip up of this magnitude. जब आपकी किटी में 220 रन है और सिर्फ नीचे के 3 बैट्समैन को आउट करना है, and you do have one established batsman playing there, a proper batsman, and then with the likes of Rashid, Noor, Mujib, Nabi, everybody there, still they couldn't get it over the line. So that goes to show how brutal this knock was, especially with cramps and everything. जिस तरह से उसको problem हो रही थी, and still he was actually I mean, it was an enormous knock. He played like a warrior, and वो कहते हैं कि fortune favors the brave, and eventually वही हुआ, wherein it was all Maxwell. जब ball वो लग रही थी तब भी वो चौके जा रहे थे. I mean, just imagine somebody scoring 22 boundaries and 8 or 9 sixes in that knock. It was boundary or nothing for him eventually. I mean, kudos to him. Now it's actually, I mean, अगर आज अफगानिस्तान जीत जाता, it would have been absolutely, एक आगे 4-5 दिन जो होते वो बड़े entertaining हो सकते थे, wherein अफगानिस्तान भी 10 पे पहुंच जाता, ऑस्ट्रेलिया ऑलरेडी 10 पर था, and न्यूजीलैंड का गेम बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग हो जाता, and then it would have been a 4-way tie with 10 points, and run rate and all these things would have come into picture. But I think it's going to be an easy through for Australia. 12 point पे वो हो चुके हैं and पहुंच चुके हैं. I don't see any team there won't be any team reaching 12 points now. So it's going to be Australia, India, South Africa now. It's a fight for that 4th position. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be New Zealand or Pakistan or who? We'll have to weigh that and see. अगर South Africa के against आज वाली अगर performance कर दे Afghanistan, you never know. I mean, if that's going to be going in their favor or not. Well, we'll have to wait and see how it turns around, and let's see what happens in the next fixture when Afghanistan take on South Africa. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the other side in tomorrow's game, most probably. Thank you.